All right, question number 3. We're going to refer to the graph of this function and complete the statement. So it looks like we're looking at the end behavior. And so part 1 of 11, it says as x has a little arrow pointing to negative infinity. So this means as x approaches or goes to negative infinity, f of x goes to what? And so this is basically saying, okay, if we trace this graph to the left, negative infinity is going to the left. As the x gets more and more negative, what is the y value doing? So the y, we're looking at up and down. This looks like the origin right here in the middle. We're going down to -2. This looks like -4, and there's like a dotted line here. So you can see this graph is flattening out at -4. So when you see this is an asymptote. That means it's going to get really close, never cross that line. So as we go to the left, as x is going to the left, this blue line is getting closer and closer and closer to this dotted line at -4. So we would just say the y value, which is f of x, the y value is going toward -4. Then part 2 says as x goes toward -3, and then there's this little negative up above it. So this says as x goes toward -3, this is from the left. So -3 would be, I guess, right about here, as this graph is going toward -3 from the left side, because there's two sides, the left and right. So as we get closer and closer to -3 from the left, this graph looks like it's going up and up and up without bound. It's going to continue to go up. So this means it is going toward positive infinity. So your x is going one direction. What is your y value doing? So in this case, as we approach -3, and this little negative means from the left, the y value is going up toward positive infinity. As we approach -3 from the right, okay, so we're approaching from the right side, we get the same result. This graph is going up and up and up without bound, shooting up toward positive infinity. This little asymptote vertical dotted line tells me that. So we get that the y value, f of x, is going toward positive infinity. Now, as x goes toward positive infinity, so as x goes to the right, okay, so here I'm going to the right forever and ever and ever. This blue line is getting ever and ever closer to this dotted line right here, and again, it's at a height of -4. So we would say the y value is going toward -4. Now it says, is the graph increasing over at least one interval? Increasing means it is going up as we go from left to right. So as I go from left to right, this graph is going up on the left side, and then on the other side of this dotted line, going from left to right, is going down, so decreasing. So we would say increasing on the left side. This is negative infinity until we get to this value here, which is 3. We determine that based on the x-axis, okay, left and right. If you think like longitude and latitude, we go left and right. So that's how we label it. So we would say, yes, the graph is increasing over at least one interval. The graph is decreasing over at least one interval. Yes, we got both. The graph is increasing over the interval, and so up here that would be negative infinity until we get to 3, but we don't get to 3, we just continue getting closer to 3. So we will say graph is increasing from negative infinity up to 3, and then 7, it is decreasing, and that would be from 3 to infinity. Okay, so we're again indicating that based on the x-axis direction. So starting from 3, going to the right all the way to positive infinity, this is decreasing, just getting closer and closer to that line. Domain and interval notation. Okay, so if we look at this graph, we can see that all of this blue line is connected everywhere except for this line here at 3, and then it's picking back up on the other side of 3 and goes to infinity. So we are going to say that the domain is negative infinity. Went up to the wrong thing. Down here. Oh, I clicked the wrong box, that's why. Negative infinity up to 3. And then we need a connector union of the other side of 3 to infinity, to positive infinity. The range, the y values. Okay, so if we look at this graph, how far down and up does this graph go? So the lowest value we get is -4 that we're getting close to, but then from there it goes up and up and up and up to infinity. So we're going to say the range, y direction, is going from -4 up to positive infinity. So my range, -4 up to positive infinity. And then the vertical asymptote. So the vertical line that the graph does not cross is this one here, and that looks to be at -3. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. I've typed in the wrong numbers. I need to go back and fix that. So this is -3. So when I was doing the domain, I think I was putting +3. I need to be putting -3. So all of those values where I put 3, I need to make them a -3. Otherwise, all of that will be wrong. And the vertical asymptote is at x equals -3. And the horizontal asymptote was this horizontal line that the graph doesn't cross at -4. So we got a horizontal asymptote at -4. All right, looks green. Yeah, everything was good.